Boys, the Child Emperor ZIO is finally here, and you better make sure his animations are as crisp as possible. LD Player 9 is now available with the smoothest gameplay, the most stable connection, and a ton of tailor-made features just for Epic 7. So while you're hectically shop refreshing for 10,000 mystics in preparation for ZIO, please use the links in the description below and in the pinned comment to start using LD Player right now. Help support me and the channel. Thank you to LD for sponsoring us. Thank you guys for always being cool with these. And without further ado, let's get into it. What's going on, y'all, and welcome on in. It's patch preview morning, so we got a lot to talk about. Boss character ZIO is here. Let's give our first impression. His kit looks kind of crazy. We got special change Adin, the light form, who might have some PvP potential. I'm kind of excited to talk about her and see what you guys think. And before we begin, the chest password in your mailbox is Girl of Fate, so go ahead and get your free leaves and gold before we start. All right, y'all, before we check out Adin and ZIO first impressions, let's go ahead and just hover through the 1-minute summary. I like to do this with y'all just to see all the new stuff that's not just the heroes. But we're wrapping up episode 4, guys. Status check. How far in episode 4 are y'all? I think I'm like chapter 7. I've definitely been slacking, but I try to get some stuff done here and there. And I definitely want to rush Savior Adin, as I think she looks really good. Let's go ahead and check out the shoe skin as well. And let's see, Ancient Inheritance Season 4 is starting next week. And there's a few other things I want to talk about. So let's hover through this real quickly here. Adin and ZIO will get their own screen time in just a minute. Here is the shoe. Let's go ahead and just watch it together real fast, guys. I think I asked y'all last time when this first previewed. She looks really cute. It's unfortunate, I think. Guys, is Cream? I think Cream is exactly the same. I was hoping maybe they would change him into like a bigger cat. But maybe that's harder or easier said than done. Still, the skin itself looks great, and I'll definitely be using it. So it's going to be available through a Epic Pass coming soon, hopefully, by the end of the year. Let's see what else we got, guys. Ancient Heritage Season 4, I mentioned, starting next week. LQC is going to be the next skin coming out. So remember, if you like LQC, if you want that limited skin before it's available in the shop like a year later, make sure y'all try and hustle in Masters. Every single one of y'all watching, I always say it, can hit Masters no problem. And yeah, I can always help y'all out if you want to stop by the Twitch channel, link in the description. Let's keep moving along, guys. Para rate up. Probably save your bookmarks, as we got, there's a collab coming up too, not the slime one. Shu, if you want to use that new skin, guys, and you didn't get her from the Hua recall, or maybe your season 2 selective, I would consider setting aside some bookmarks to get her. She's not limited by any means, but if you want to take advantage of the skin, plus she's just such an amazing ice bruiser right now, I definitely think she's worth picking up one copy of at least. So consider that for sure. Bazaar, you definitely skip. Crown, just wait to get that in the powder shop when it rotates around. Eula, unfortunately, after Hua got nerfed, lost her biggest potential like in Guild Wars. She is actually kind of viable in RTA for some players, but definitely not a unit you want to use or waste bookmarks on right now unless you love her. And I think that's it for the banners. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and talk about Adin and ZIO. All right, guys, we got the Savior Adin preview loaded up. Let's go ahead and watch it together.
As long as I have something to protect,
here we go.
I will never lose. It'll all be over.
Oh, really quickly, I never really cared. That's kind of a funny still or a freeze frame of her. But I never really cared for normal Adin. If you guys are, no offense for anyone of y'all watching that really like, you know, the normal form. I thought she always just looked kind of generic, sort of regular. But this light form, I think she looks really, really good. And so I'm excited. I might actually be, I might have to rush and finish all her forms.
In the blink of an eye. We still have hope.
Yeah, I think she looks really, really good. The longer hair, I think she has longer hair in this one, right?
Adin, who has the power of the 4 seasons.
Okay, let's watch this really quickly
the fear
together.
In her heart and has mastered the power of light to fight against the celestial beings threatening her world. Players will be able to awaken
Sprite
Adin
looks super
to
good.
Savior Adin by completing episode 4, chapter 10.
We gotta finish
And then
episode 4, chapter
completing
10.
all
I
the
gotta
missions
hustle,
for
guys.
awakened Adin.
Where are y'all in the episode? I think I'm halfway through episode
Savior
4, more than
Adin
halfway.
is a 3-star light elemental thief.
All right, so here's her
She has
stats.
high attack and critical hit chance.
High attack, high
And
crit.
can increase her attack even more through her imprint concentration.
Okay, let's go ahead and just hover through this. So the skill 3, Smite of Salvation, is actually going to grant invincibility to all allies except for herself, which is pretty crazy considering she's a 3-star. And it has innate just 50% defense pen. So kind of a stacked skill 3. I like it. And you'll see why that the fact that she doesn't give invincibility to herself may be okay, even though she's a 3-star with kind of low base stats, right? Especially, you know, her bulk. But let's go watch the animation here real quick.
To all allies except for the caster for 1 turn.
Kind of like a Strays sort of S3, guys.
By 50%.
And 20k to FCC looks kind of nice. So she does give invincibility to all 3 allies except for herself. Damage looks good.
Power.
And here's her skill 2. It's a passive, well, sort of, that also has a built-in counterattack. But evasion increased by 35%. I believe that's 50% 4, 7, 10. Yeah, 15% after skill enhancements. Not Mola, right? She's a 3-star, so that should only cost Stigma and Catalyst. But anytime she's evades once every 2 turns, not every turn, she'll counterattack with Blade Gust, which is an AoE Dispel 1 buff skill. And then there's going to be some runes attached to that, which we'll cover here in a little bit.
Of the 4 seasons.
But let's check the animation.
Blade Gust can only be activated once every
So it did
2
miss.
turns. Blade Gust.
Counterattack.
Attacks all enemies with a Blade Gust, dispelling.
Okay, so we didn't see the damage here because it was, you know, we're just negating the FCC skill effect, but it also strips on top of that, so kind of cool.
1 buff. Skill.
All right, ankle cut. This is skill 1. Attacks enemy with a sword with a, what is that? 10%, so 75% chance to become unbuffable, and you can soul burn it to be 100% for 2 turns. That's whatever.
1.
All right, let's check the animation of this real quick. Wait. Oh, I guess they don't show the animation. Okay, why not?
Here are the
There you go. Here's the runes. So we're going to get just a lot more attack, 15%. We get a free 10% crit and a free 5 speed. On top of that, we're going to increase the attack of all allies by 5%. And whenever we dodge, this one's really nice. We're going to get a, what is that? 20% combat readiness every time we dodge. Okay, looks good. So 50% base dodge, guys, which you can stack an artifact on top of that, making her 70%. And unlike Riolet, for example, that is not including a buff, so she can't get dispelled. She'll just always be a 70% evasion unit, which she desperately needs because she's not going to give herself any survivability. She's really reliant on that dodge to you know, live. So let's see. Here's the runes I was mentioning. For her skill 3 Smite of Salvation, we have Faith Rune. When using Smite of Salvation, if the target is a dark elemental hero, increases damage dealt by a staggering 20%. So think a little bit like LQC, guys. She's like a mini LQC. Relic Rune. When using Smite of Salvation, the target is a dark elemental hero. You can also reset their skill cooldowns by 1 turn, 100% chance. So if you do Bringer versus Dark units, guys, that seems kind of nice. They showcased FCC. You know, I'm sure a lot of y'all think about who's a problem Dark unit. Apocalypse Ravi. So definitely an anti-Dark unit. Let's see what else is in her kit here. Yeah, they showed her hitting Apoc Ravi there. Power of the 4 Seasons, her skill 2. When using Blade Gust, which is the counterattack that can happen once every 2 turns, we have a 100% chance to remove 5 souls from the enemy, which is actually really nice, guys. So I'm thinking she might have some like anti-cleave potential because removing 5 souls when you first Blade Gust, as long as you dodge, that could kind of ruin a cleaver or aggro player's day by stopping them from getting that, you know, their coveted 20 souls. That'll cut it down to 15. And so a lot of those annoying units that, you know, want a 20 soul burn, 20 cost soul burn will, you know, get some of that stolen away and maybe interrupt their game plan. The other rune is Fruition. You 100% chance to increase attack of the caster for 2 turn. Okay, so anytime she Blade Gust, she'll give herself attack up, which is kind of nice. Especially if we can lead that straight into skill 3, which I believe does not give... yeah, Smite of Salvation doesn't have any kind of self-attack up. So she will be able to, if she gets hit and dodges, or I guess I should say, if she gets attacked and dodges, she'll be able to self-attack up after the Blade Gust, take away souls, and then lead into skill 3. And if it's against a dark unit, we're going to get some big bonuses. So kind of a cool synergistic kit. The ankle cut also is able to heal for 20% of the damage dealt. So maybe on a counter set or using like the artifact what is it? The Crescent Edge, the Urvalin Arty. You know, you can maybe get her on some kind of, you know, sustaining some life anytime she sort of takes, you know, chip damage or a little bit of, you know, dodge damage to keep her health, you know, up there. Keep herself a little healthy. Here is her exclusive artifact, though, guys, and it's pretty interesting. It increases evasion by 20%, so she'll be at 70% evasion. This is, remember, this is only Adin can use this, so don't theory craft this on other units. But we're going to double down on fighting dark units, right? Because that's how we're going to be at elemental advantage. We're going to get even more damage, boys. So I think this has a lot of potential. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, as there's a lot of different thief artifacts. I'm even thinking potentially if I want to use her as an anti-cleave, potentially maybe using like the CR cut, the Celine arty, this arty if I want to fight dark units, or maybe even like the counter one, the Crescent or Valen arty, like I mentioned earlier. There's a lot of cool stuff that she might be able to do, but I'm worried her base stats are a little bit rough. But, you know, as long as you dodge and maybe bring a little bit extra mitigation, I think she has some potential here. And especially, you know, fighting off those aggressive comps and maybe just a, like, mini LQC if you don't have LQC or something like that. She looks great. She's a free unit. So, hey, I think Smilegate did a great job. But, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap that up here. And let's move on to ZIO, where I really, really want to talk about. All right. I got the ZIO video loaded. Let's go ahead and watch this one together.
When all the pieces are put together.
I'm really curious what y'all think about ZIO. How many y'all are going to be pulling for him? Make sure you let me know. Remember, guys, the smart play is always to wait to see people test them before you commit, you know, up to 10,000 mistakes. But some of y'all are just committed. You already know what you want, what you like, if his kid is good enough or just looks-wise. So I respect that. Let me know if you're one of those people that's either going to pull or pass just off first impression judgment.
I am the rightful ruler.
I think I'm going to pull for him. But we'll see. He's not fully my type of unit, but I think he has potential
Must suffer
to be my style of unit. I think he's good overall. Like, I think he's insane.
ZIO, the young emperor of Fahrenheit.
All right, let's watch our
strives to
little, you know,
restore
our
the
little
land to
lore
its former
background.
glory. Although he's of the same lineage as the previous emperor, he was far from even being
He looks a lot
considered to be
taller than
next
I
in
thought
line
he'd
for
be.
the throne. Despite not
Which,
knowing
funny
his
enough, is
origins,
what a lot of
he
people
lived
told
a
me
peaceful and normal life.
when I
It
showed
is
up at the
only due to
Smilegate
an
live
orchestrated
stream.
series of
A lot of y'all
events
saw
that
me like
he
full
has
picture.
ascended. He is widely considered weak and
All right,
unfit
let's
to be
see here.
emperor. However, he is
Kinda looks like he's
protected
next
by
to his
his
mom and dad,
advisor
right?
High Shaman,
But it's just his
and some
advisor
even
and High
suspect that
Shaman.
his public image is only but a
As a
facade to his
hawk.
true character.
He had that evil grin.
ZIO is a
Big
five-star
Joffrey vibes. All right, the Emperor of Fahrenheit. So he has 18 effectiveness, 27 crit guides, which is actually relevant. We'll see here in a second. 106 speed, nothing to write home about. Sorry, but you'll see why that is also important to note. And on top of that, remember, guys, in RTA right now, the new frenzy effects, if you like to play World Arena, mages get a bonus to their speed. I believe it's 7. So that is very important, as you'll see here in just a second. So let's go ahead and scroll through and let's look at his first skill that they're going to preview. Supreme Authority. This is his skill 2. And it is a passive at the start of the first battle. Increases combat radius by 10%, which I believe is 20% after Mola. So 20% straight up CR push at the start of the battle is pretty nice. That's going to give him some competitive edge. Put him on a speed set. I don't know, maybe like 260 or whatever. You know, speed is always relevant to what your opponent's speeds are kind of running. But it's going to give him a good chance to cut a lot of opener units. And on top of that, unaffected by effects that reduce combat radius, increases the caster receives. So I believe that means units like Politis with her CR manipulation and units, or I guess restrict maybe, aren't going to affect him at all. So he'll always be able to CR push himself. I think like Silius CR pushback might still work. As that's not stopping his... The line says specifically, guys, unaffected by effects that reduce combat radius that the caster receives. So let me know if y'all think that means he can still be pushed back. I think that does. It just means that nothing can affect his CR push up on the passive at the start of the battle. And I believe he gets more CR push on his skill 3. We're going to see that here in just a sec. So let's go ahead and look at his skill 3. Bow down before me. Dispels 2 buffs from the enemy before attacking, silencing for 1 turn. This is a lot of text, by the way, guys. A lot of text. Looks like we're fighting an Abyss boss or an Advent boss. Skill description. Silences for 1 turn and decreases combat radius by 30%. Okay. Grants Deify to the caster for 3 turns. We'll read that here in a minute. But penetrates the target's defense by 100%. Holy crap. And cannot trigger critical hit. So earlier, guys, I know a lot of people are going to ask, like, why give him 27 crit base when he can't trigger critical hit? It's because he's going to get a lot of crit chance for free on the Deify. And when combined with his base crit, it's not for the skill 3, obviously. You can't crit here, but it's going to be for his skill 1, which is kind of a very sick, I shouldn't say sick, like a nice looking move. When the target hears a hero damage dealt increase it proportional to the target's current health. Okay, so a little bit of a extra scaling, proportional to target's current health. Let's see here. When attacking, increases crit by 50, and when attacked, decreases damage suffered by 50%. That's actually huge, guys. So DFI cannot be dispelled, and it's going to last 3 turns, whereas you're going to get a free 50 crit, which is insane. That's so much free stats, boys. And then on top of that, the decreased damage is also crazy. This is what gives me hope that maybe I can use him as, you know, not a non-cleaver, more of a slower, standard, even turn 2 player. Because I can build him kind of fast. Hopefully he'll take first turn, but even if he doesn't, I maybe just won't run him against units that might kill him before he can activate his skill 3. But if you can activate the skill 3, which should be easier said, or not easier said than done, it should be pretty simple because of the CR push on his skill 2. The fact that he gets free speed being a mage in this current RTA season. If we get that DFI active, it can't be dispelled, guys. We decrease damage suffered by 50%. And on top of that, if you want to run like an Aureus or an escort unit like ROL Para, that's going to be some insane damage reduction. So I do like him. I think he has potential as both a contester, a cleaver. He just seems pretty insane. So much free stats, right? And then he has a soul burn effect that dispels all buffs from the target for 10 souls. Very stacked skill 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like here. Where's the animation?
Damage dealt increases.
We go up the
proportional to the
stairs.
target's current
He looks
health.
down on us.
DFI increases
He
critical
summons
hit
like an
chance
eyeball out of
by
the
50%
sky.
when
The damage is okay, but it's really just a setup, right? It does some debuffs, and we're going to set up that DFI, which is going to lead into our skill 1, which, by the way, guys, this thing looks so awesome. So let me destroy you. Attacks me with spear, so he also gets a self-attack up for a turn, and then he's going to activate this extra ability, which, by the way, guys, can only be activated once per turn during his turn. So no extra attacks, dual attacks, counterattacks, whatever. This is only when he attacks himself. He's going to attack with a Sword Storm. And when the enemy is defeated, increases combat readiness of the caster by 50%. So it's on the skill 3, or sorry, skill 1, not skill 3. This one will also not be able to get cut in half or whatever by Politis. I think it's whatever combat readiness reduction Politis provides. That can't be stopped because of ZIO's passive, and it also has 50% defense pen as well. So this is where you're going to want to be critting, guys, and let's take a look, because I think this is one of the best looking skill 1 animations I've seen maybe ever in Epic 7 history. Let's check it out.
The Sword Storm, and when the enemy is defeated, increases
Look at that,
combat
dude. That
readiness
is so sick. The over the shoulder angle into some
the
serious damage, and then if you get the kill, we get a huge combat readiness push. It has defense pen as well, as long as we have that DFI, right? That's how we're gonna activate this. Also cool looking icon. So very nice setup. We always want to start with skill 3, where we have a skill 2 passive that'll help enable us, and then we just start spamming some skill 1s with those extra effects while also taking some mitigated damage, 50% damage reduction. Pretty stacked kit overall, guys, which I hope he's gonna be viable in multiple play styles, right? So let's see. I think that about covers it. Yeah, no artifact, of course. He's a Moonlight hero. So what do you think, guys? Overall, I really like him. He's not my favorite looks-wise, right? I'm not a big fan of the Valen, Ludwig, younger looking gentleman. But I do think after seeing his animations, after seeing his kit, I think I will pull for him. Even if he's not, you know, like a straight bruiser or tanky unit that I typically enjoy, I do think he has potential there. And yeah, I like his kit. He obviously looks pretty strong, as most boss characters are on release, right? So let me know, guys, what you think about this, Adin, and go ahead and check out the collab video I'm about to put out, as well as I got some theory crafting and stuff to talk about on that end. With that being said, we look forward to ZIO, and yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one, everybody. Peace out, guys.